Good everyone. I hope you guys had an amazing day. So what I'm going to do today, I will show you one of the features of platform event, which will be available as part of summer 23. So usually, I'm not sure if you guys have used platform event before. I've used extensively platform event, even in one of my current projects. I've built a platform event emitter framework. So which we which I use to propagate the event. So um, so one thing that's often happen, right? You do event.publish, and then you have a logger which based on the data you pass to the publisher, you log it, right? But what happens if something goes wrong, or how do you capture that the event has been published successfully, or event uh, has not been published successfully. So now we can do something called, you can track the publishing of platform event with Apex push up publish callback. So callbacks are like when you do event.publish, right? You can get a callback to say, hey, this event has been published successfully, or this event has not been published successfully. Um, so this is the code, right? And so you need to implement this event bus, publish failure callback, and then you get this UID so that you can republish it, right? That's the whole point of having a failure callback, so that you will know um, when something goes wrong, right? When to republish it. So that's the whole point of having callback function in place. The same goes for the success. I mean, success we don't really care, because you will anyway knows, right, out of like 50 events, which ones are the failures. So remaining will be successful, right? So obviously you can work that out. But in case if you only wanted to monitor just the successful ones, you can use that using this callback method. You just have to implement event bus dot event publish success callback. I really like this functionality. This is way better than what they've done with the Apex one. So this is really good. This is good as gold, I would say. Right. So so yeah. So that's from a platform perspective. And then there is something called enhanced event usage metrics. If you wanted to get the event usage metrics, you can use this query. Um, you know, it's just pretty simple, I would say. Um, so this feature will be available in Sandbox when it become generally available. So you just have to wait. So that's about it from a platform event consideration. Um, and then I'm going through the release documentation, and someone said, "Hey, can you make it?" I said, "Okay, why not?" It's useful for me as well, right? Because I often go through it, but for 23, I've been a bit busy, so I didn't really pay much attention. But that being said, it's a great opportunity for me to, talk about it. So, and also, to tell you guys what's coming and what I think about it. Like I said in my video yesterday, Apex one, I'm not very impressed with what they're doing. Yes, I do appreciate the fact they wanted to, bring changes to keep the platform alive. But I'm more happy for the platform inside. That's pretty amazing, I would say. Um, Visual Force. All right, let's look at Visual Force. Right. I mean, I don't use Visual Force anymore because Visual Force is a legacy tag, and so yeah. So now it says enable JSON access annotation validation, whatever that means. So you can use the JSON access, right? Like I said, I don't use Visual Force, so for me, even the existing components we migrated to either Aura or to LWC. So it just this technology is pretty much like I don't use it. So I don't really want to cover this, because why do you want to build it with the Visual Force anyways, right? When we have LWC. All right. So LWC, let's look at LWC, right? Use Lightning Web Security for L Lightning Web Components and Aura Component, which is great. Lightning Web Security for Aura Component is generally available, which is great. Salesforce continues gradual rollout of the LWS architecture. All right, so this is the web security for LWC. So that's pretty simple. Enable third-party integration with Lightning DOM. Okay, this is pretty cool. So if you wanted to, um, it's now generally available, so you can, do this. Yep. Attribute name support more patterns. Uh, all right. Okay. Okay. Now, so this name support is applicable to Experience Builder sites, all the versions of Salesforce mobile app, um, and even the web components in open source. Now, attributes can start with underscore and dollar sign. Okay, which is cool. So something like this, right? You can do that. Um, is you can. It's like a variable naming convention, right? So that's what I would say. Attribute, not like you say string X. So you can say string my attribute, something like this, right? Um, Synchronize component data with refresh without a page refresh using refresh view. Oh yeah, refresh view API is something I've spoken about when I was doing Lightning Web Component. Um, so this is a pretty good option, right? So you can synchronize data without reloading the entire page. Otherwise, you have to refresh the entire page, right? Now you don't have to do it. You can just synchronize the stuff what you wanted to see. So just have a read about it. Now you can assign. Oh yeah, assign CSS style sheet to a component. So if you wanted to assign a specific style sheet to a specific component, that is what it's talking about, which is pretty cool. Uh, so we have a style sheet property now. Um, yeah, I mean these things. To be honest, I mean you have to try it, right? I mean I'm just going through it. I mean you might get to say, hey, that functionality is cool. Like I like this functionality very well, right? Makes your LWC component more neater. You can add more style to it, which is pretty cool. So this is really very cool, I would say. Now, this is all more like a creator scope slots in Lightning DOM. That's something you can read about. Uh, these are the barcode stuff. I'm not much sure about it because I don't use barcode scanner, so I can't really say if it's useful or not useful. So if you guys have used it, just let me know what you think about this. Oh yeah, validate your Lightning Web component for offline use with Komachi Static Analyzer. So this is a new developer tool. I don't know how to say. It's a Komachi or is it Komaki? I don't know how to pronounce it. But so I mean, if it's a Slavic, so I would say Komachi. Perhaps it may not be, but let's say for the sake of argument, it's Komachi Static Analyzer. It's a new developer tool that validates code to ensure it can be used in offline environment. That's pretty cool. Also, its ESLint plugin can be installed with the packing. All right, so you can go and install this one using npm, which is cool. Do check it out, right? That's cool. Uh, so develop offline ready LWC with the LWC offline test harness. Okay, it's a lightweight testing and debugging app that enables developers to interact, develop for using. Okay, so if you wanted to develop LWC offline, all right, you can do that and test it using offline test harness. So there are some kind of structure changes. So I'm not gonna go through much, right? You can go through it. So like I said, right, a couple of things are exciting, like for the the style sheet, I'm pretty excited about that. That's something I'm gonna see because I'll be building a LDPC component perhaps in a couple of months' time. So a pretty complex LWC component I have to build as a part of a requirement that coming to me from my customer. So it's a pretty complex one. So it will be useful if I get hold if this feature is available to me that time. So yeah, some of the things, right? Because the thing is, think about it this way, right? You get excited about this, but are you going to use it? That's my question, right? People get so much excited. Oh, I got this functionality, but are you going to use it, right? So that's why I don't really talk about it. Like Marketing Cloud, it makes no sense to me whatever they build because I don't use Marketing Cloud, and when I don't need it, I don't use it. What's the point of even talking about it, right? I talk about things in Salesforce which I work on, right? And which I'm fairly confident on, right? I can't talk about things like which I've never done before. Like Marketing Cloud, I never worked on before. So there's no point I'm going to talk about it anytime soon till I get an opportunity to work on a project, right? Like I'm doing Health Cloud, right? Right. Health Cloud is something I've done. And even, not every feature on Health Cloud I worked on, right? Because we have, like I said, we have custom component and a lot of things I've done I've customized it, which is not out of box. So, um, so yeah, but I can talk about those things like net zero is something I'm very passionate. I've done net zero. So similarly, right? There are certain things which I don't know and I haven't worked on it. I'm happy to admit that certain things I don't know. So when things I don't know, I don't want to talk about it, right? Just not to look like an idiot, right? So that's one of the main things. But the main thing for main discussion with today is the platform, right? So, but yeah, do check it out the LWC as well, right? I think they've done pretty cool stuff. Visual Force, I don't use it because it's a legacy tech. It's just shy. It's an old tech. It's a single page. So it's a page based technology. So, or you can say model view controller. It's not a component based, so it's not very flexible. And yeah, so that's pretty much I wanted to talk. They've done some cool stuff with the flows. I'm going to talk about the flows next time, right? Um, so we're going to look at the flows. They have added like HTTP component to it. They made like a reactive screen. A lot of fun stuff they've done, right? And then something they've added with I've heard they've added with the send email where you can send a template and debug stuff. Something on that lines, right? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked at it, but I'm not. I am 100% confident they've implemented that HTTP node in Salesforce flows, and also they've done something with the MuleSoft Composer. They brought into the Salesforce platform. So the MuleSoft Composer is something I'll be working on this month or perhaps early month. So which is an exciting piece of tech, and it's like to integrate different systems, right? So that's something I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. Anyways.